The Conjuring and the Smurl Haunting. What if I told you that the horror you see on the big screen is rooted in real lives, real homes, and real suffering? The Conjuring franchise has terrified millions with its depictions of demons, hauntings, and possession. But tonight, we uncover the story that inspired its latest chapter, a family in Pennsylvania, tormented by something they could not explain. This is the Smurl family haunting, and the truth behind The Conjuring. The Conjuring universe began in 2013 with James Wan's terrifying tale of the Perron family. Since then, it has expanded into one of the most successful horror franchises of all time. Each film draws from the real case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren, the controversial but world-renowned demonologists who investigated hauntings for decades. And now, with this new installment, the story of the Smurl family finally takes center stage, a case so disturbing it shook even the Warrens to their core. But to understand the movie, we first need to understand the family. Jack and Janet Smurl were an ordinary working-class couple. In 1973, they moved with their daughters into a duplex in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. On one side lived Jack's parents. On the other, Jack and Janet began to raise their young family. It should have been a dream setup, affordable, close to relatives, and a new start. But from the beginning, the house fought back. Water stains appeared on freshly painted walls. Appliances broke down constantly. A television caught fire, though it wasn't even plugged in. These were the small warnings before the real nightmare began. At night, the family heard footsteps moving across empty rooms. Drawers slid open on their own. The smell of rotting flesh filled the air so strong it made them sick. Janet reported cold hands tugging at her in the dark. One night, Jack felt a presence press down on him, pinning him to the bed. Guests felt it too. Neighbors whispered that the Smurls' home was cursed, and the family, once vibrant and hopeful, began to fall apart. But what makes the Smurl haunting different is how it escalated. This was not just shadows or noises. The entity here wanted control. Jack claimed he was assaulted sexually by an unseen force. Janet described being scratched, slapped, even levitated from her bed. Perhaps most disturbing of all, their daughters reported seeing a dark figure, a half-human, half-beast shape, lurking in their bedroom. The Smurls were devout Catholics. They prayed. They sought help from their parish. But the activity only grew stronger. And soon they would call on the most famous paranormal investigators in America, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed and Lorraine Warren arrived in 1986. Lorraine, a clairvoyant, claimed she sensed a demonic presence almost immediately. She described a shadow that fed on the family's fear and wanted to destroy their faith. The Warrens attempted multiple exorcisms. Rosaries were prayed. Holy water was sprinkled. Latin rites echoed through the walls. But if anything, the house fought back harder. Witnesses claimed objects flew across rooms. The walls vibrated. And at one terrifying moment, a guttural voice boomed through the house, "Get out!" Not everyone believed the Smurls. Skeptics accused them of fabricating the story for attention. Some psychologists suggested stress and sleep paralysis could explain the claims. But for the Smurls, this was no illusion. They begged for help, moving from priest to priest, bishop to bishop, until finally an exorcism sanctioned by the church was attempted. Did it work? The answer depends on who you ask. The activity slowed, but it never completely stopped. Eventually, the family moved away, and though the house grew quiet, their scars remained. The Smurl haunting entered pop culture quickly. In 1986, journalists covered it across Pennsylvania. By 1991, a made-for-TV movie called The Haunted dramatized their story, shocking audiences nationwide. And now, decades later, the haunting resurfaces in The Conjuring. Hollywood may add jump scares and special effects, but at its core, this film is built on the testimony of a family who swore they lived through hell. The Smurl family never got their normal life back. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, their story has left a mark. On their community, on the Warrens' legacy, and now on the silver screen. So I'll leave you with a question. When you watch The Conjuring, are you watching fiction, or are you witnessing echoes of something far more real?